Hi everyone, this is Augie Shenzo, and this video will explain how to operate the fair play scoreboard for baseball and softball. Now, there are two different kinds of scoreboards because the baseball scoreboard has the inning by inning score, so it includes the box score as well, while the softball scoreboards, which is for the remainder of fields like field 1, field 2, and field 3, only has the runs and the ball strikes, all the simple stuff, whereas the baseball one has all the uh, more complicated like hits and errors and things like that. So I'll show you the difference between the two. Now, as you can see right here, the visitor errors, home errors, visitor hits, home hits are on the baseball scoreboard. Now, if we go over here to the softball scoreboard, you will see that there is no visitor hits or errors. See how those four are blank right here, while the rest are all the same. And when you plug it in, if you accidentally plug in the baseball into the softball, for instance, it won't show up properly. So how do we plug in the scoreboard? Well, it's pretty simple here. All you have to do is unwrap the cord. Then you put this power cord into the power strip right here. See how this one goes right here. We kind of want to make it go farther from the edge, such as right here. Okay, it goes farther. And then there's a cable alongside there. This cable right here, if you can see, that cable goes inside there. So that is specifically for the scoreboard, and it allows the data to be captured from the controller to the scoreboard way out there. You can see. Tough to see what. There we go, right here with the yellow and red and things like that. All right. Now, in this instance, a game is still on the previous scoreboard. So all you have to do to clear it is you go to Shift, then Inning, and then hold on to Shift and press 4. That clears the last game out, and it says New Game on there. Very similar, exactly the same on the softball scoreboard. Now, see how we have the last game up for softball up here. Kind of tough with this light here. A little tough to see, but we still have the last game up from here. So all we do is just you go shift, then inning, shift, inning. There must be timeouts, so that's what it says. So you have to flip the switch for it to go up since the clock was running the last game. So you go shift, inning period, and then it says new game, yes or no, shift 4. All right. And you see that the clock resets to 90. Depending on the league, some leagues may want it to 90, some leagues may not have clock at all. So you go clock set. Clock set is in the top row right here. Or is it at right here? Yep. And then you click on the numbers. So like, let's say we're doing a 75-minute time limit. 7, 5, then enter, and it'll show up with 75 minutes on the scoreboard. And you started by using the black switch right there. Baseball does not have clock options. So if, for example, like say the Purple Panthers tournament, where all the games on the main field are time limit, then you either have to set it on your own phone or use another scoreboard from the other field to see how much time there is. Now, on the baseball scoreboard, it gets a little complicated because you have to press 2 buttons instead of just one for simple stuff. So let's start off with the easy stuff. Ball +1. That's for a ball. All right. Notice how it says ball 1 up there, and it goes up there. You can also do ball like 2, enter. Like say if you make a mistake for, and I'll show you how to make correct a mistake later on. Like say 3-2 count, 2 balls, 2 strikes or whatever it is. Then you could just go ball 2, enter. things like that. You can even go like ball 9, enter, for example. That's what I like to do sometimes during practices, just just for fun. But the basic momentum is ball +1. If you make a mistake, minus one up here with the blank, it shows right here. So you can go like ball -1, that goes ball 1. And then, like, let's say there's a strike, ball +1, that gets it a strike right here. All right. Let's say if there's an out, then you go out +1, +2, and +3, it goes back to 0. Now it automatically goes back to 0 or whatever it is based on the strikes. Like, let's say 3 balls, no strikes. The runner walks, so ball +1, and it automatically goes back to 0. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. At bat, this is for the jersey numbers. So at bat down here, at bat, like let's say 5 is batting, then you press enter. You can also clear it if there is no, sorry, I pressed the wrong one. So let's say if like 6 is batting, but you saw that 78 is batting, just something like that. So you can clear it, then you can press 7, 8, enter. Okay? Now, to clear it, like let's say there's a pop fly and it's a 2-2 count. All right, pop fly. So you could go strike +1, it automatically gets an out. But let's say if they, uh, let's say if they're like a 1-2 count, all right. So and they hit a pop fly or some other kind of hit, you go this button, clear ball strike at bat. All right, this is for like a 1-2 count, and they get like, let's say a double. All right, so clear ball strike at bat. It clears the ball strike and the jersey number. All right, hopefully that makes sense. And then yeah, so like if it's a double, like then I usually like to flash the hit sign. Right, the hit is right up here and it'll flash on the top right portion of the scoreboard. Then you go, whatever team got the hit, like let's say visitor got the hit, visitor hits +1, or if you're 1 behind, let's +2 would work for that, +3, same thing, it just adds 3 more or anything like that. Now you can't add like 2 balls, for example, or 3 strikes on the same thing. No, that only works with +1. Okay, this is only applied for runs. This column over here hits, runs, scored by ink. Okay, so visitor has 3 hits so far. Let's say home also has hit as well. It works the same thing. So +1, then +2, etc. like that. -1 if you make a mistake. And -1 will apply for anything that has an error. Okay. Inning, make sure you remember to put the inning. That's a common mistake that I have. So you can go inning +1, +2, +3, etc. That's the inning for the scoreboard for the score by scoring. How do you get the score by score inning? Well, you just go for the amount of teams. So like visitor scored by inning. And then let's say visitor got a run. So visitor scored by inning +2, and it'll appear on the scoreboard with a 1 on 3. This is the inning number right here. And there's 1 run for visitor. Now, let's say home did not score any, so make sure you put home score by inning +1 for that. Then you also have to update the runs. Now, this is kind of gets tricky because it does not sync correctly. So you go visitor runs, visitor scored a run, +1, okay? And it shows in red, visitor has 1 run, home has 0 runs, okay? And that's the end of the third inning. Now, you can go back -1 like usual if you make a mistake, okay? So let's say there was an RBI double. Um, so RBI double, you go, and it was a 2-2 counts or some 2-1 counts, let's say. So you and six is batting. Okay, so let's say 2-1 counts, RBI double happens. Clear ball strike at bats first, then you go hit. Whatever team gets the hit, +1, and whatever team scores the run, so home score by inning, +2 since it's 0, or you could go +1 twice, and then home run +1. Okay? Let's say a sacrifice fly, for example. Um, and it's like so 2-1 counts again. So you just go out +1, clear the ball strike at bat. All right, that clears everything off the scoreboard except the out. And then you go like let's say home scored, home +1, or whatever you get it to go 1. Then home runs +1. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Uh, So yeah, the inning, remember to do the inning since that will appear on the scoreboard as well. Okay. Errors, same thing. If there's a team that's got an error, home errors +1 and it appears on the scoreboard, you can flash error as well with that. Okay. You don't need to mess with the clock. Don't mess with the pitch count. Don't brightness. If it's kind of getting dark, then you can adjust the brightness so it gets brighter with that. Top bomb, it automatically does that just with a home visitor. Um, so yeah, just remember everything is with a +1. All right, and jersey numbers, at bat, whatever number, enter. All right, so we got through with the most difficult portion of the scoreboard. Now to the more easier stuff, which is the softball scoreboard. So again, the softball is just no hits, errors, things like that. You can flash hits and errors, but you have to turn it off as well. So let's start with the easy part. Just press ball for ball, strike for strike, out for out. No need for at bat since it doesn't appear on there. Now, if there's a run, then you go home score +1, like how many runs there is, uh, instead of the score by score inning as well. And then if there's visitor score to run, visitor score +1. Okay, it appears like guess is tied with home 1-1 inning period. So you go change the inning. It does show the inning on the scoreboard right here. Inning period +1, and then enter uh, just +1. You don't need to worry about entering it on the scoreboard. All right, no need for jersey numbers. If there's a hit, like let's say 2-1 count, runner gets on base, clear ball strike. Simple as that. Again, talked about the clock. Make sure you start with the switch right here, if necessary. Yeah. So, main takeaway from this, and when you're all done with the scoreboard, you can plug it in to every dugout on the field. So, say home dugout, there is a plug in with a power cord and a cable that goes underneath, and the press box has fields 4 and 3 as of right now in summer of 2023. So main thing is remember the +1. So worry about the ball strike first before the hit, and always be worried about the runs. All right, so you can have inaccurate hits and errors, and the game won't be affected. But if you have inaccurate number of runs, then people will start to wonder about that. So remember, visitor score by inning. If there's a run, +2. Visitor runs +1. Anytime there is a guest that scored. Inning, change the inning. Home scores, same thing. Okay? So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to any one of us that are working concessions or anything like that. And best of luck with your games. Thanks for watching.